Does your dog rush out of the door like Mo does? Well, keep watching this video and I'm going to teach you exactly how to stop that, and it's only going to take a few minutes. Let's go! Alright, up first you need to take your time for this. You don't need to practice this when you want to get out of the door quick. So as you can see, I'm opening the door a tiny little bit, and the moment he makes a movement forward, I move into him. So I'm using spatial pressure. Then if he holds the sit, I reward the sit. And then you are going to repeat that time and time again. Reopen the door, close it. Open the door, close it. Reset. No, block him off. Right? Because you need lots of reps so your dog understands this is now the new rule. When a door is open, doesn't mean I just get to walk through. Usually after a few reps of moving into your dog and rewarding them when they hold their sit, you will see that they really quickly figure it out. So I generally use the curve of the door as a guideline, like the dog is not allowed in that half circle unless I invite them to come in that area. And I also recommend you practice this with a long line, so you have space like I am doing right now to move outside. And there you see I invited him to come out, and then it's all good. In this part of the training, the door is already open. Again, an open door is not an invite to just go outside however you please, right? Sometimes we leave doors open. You need to practice this in a safe situation, which means when the dog has a leash on, when you are prepared for it, right? So then you close the door and you reset. This is something you can do in like a 10-minute training session. Doesn't need to be super long. Practice that for a week straight and your dog will be so good around doors from going onwards. Here I also decided to throw in a little bit of reverse training. So that means he's inside, I'm outside, and knock on the door. And I want to make sure he doesn't rush the door as I come in, right? The same rules need to be constantly reinforced. You see him jumping on me a lot. That has not to do with his training. That's because he's also being taught to be a diabetic alert dog, and that's part of his indication. So he's trying to offer me behaviors that he usually gets rewarded for. So just as a heads up. So here again, door is open. I use my spatial pressure to tell him, hey, this is my doorway and you don't get to go through the doorway until I tell you to. As you can see, I've also changed his leash to just a leash I can drop on the ground, because he's now progressed to a level that I want to be able to walk away without holding him. And as you can see, I'm going outside. Me being outside does not mean that he also gets to be outside unless he gets invited. And then the next step is really working on that distance. So my aim here is that I can walk to my car and potentially open the door and he stays inside, or this could be you putting your bins out or getting the mail, whatever it is. An open door does not mean your dog gets to follow. So here you see he makes the mistake. All I do is I pick up the lead, I lead him back inside, I reset him, and I use my spatial pressure, right? A little bit of leash pressure, sit down, and then we're off again. We're gonna just repeat that. Doesn't need to be a lot. He does keep getting up because he is smelling my leash, because a lot of dogs have worn it, and again, he fails. My spatial pressure pushes him back, and re-cue. And this is how we keep reinforcing, like, hey, moving forward gets you nowhere. Even if I'm outside doing other stuff, you don't get to follow. So here he's actually doing really good, staying right on the threshold. And then, as you can see, I invite him outside and we go outside on my command, right? Super easy. There we go. And he thinks we're off on an adventure, but tough luck. I thought it would also be valuable to show you what it looks like to stop your dog jumping out of the car the moment you open the boot or the side door. So I'm showing you first with my boot. Obviously, I have a cage in there, which makes it a lot easier. And Mo is a black hole, and you can't even see him in the video. There he is, right? But every time he moves forward before he is allowed to, I would then close the door on him, right? And every time he moves forward, I close the door on him until I tell him, okay, bud, you can come out now. So this is why that's really hard if you have your dog in the back, because obviously the distance to travel from up to down is a lot harder than from left to right. So here he comes out, I close the door gently on him and say, no, back up. So instead of using spatial pressure, because I can't use spatial pressure, right? My own body doesn't fit. I'm using the door instead to close him in until he's ready. Like, that was a really nice wait, and now he can pop out. He was already very polite, but I wanted to show you anyway. And if your dog travels with you on the back seat, this is the same concept. So again, you open the door. If your dog instantly is like crawling out, you just close the door on them, wait till they sit or back up, and you grab their lead. They shoot forward again. You will close the door on them, and you just keep doing that until your dog realizes, hey, nothing fun is happening until I just wait. And once they learn that, it's really easy to load your dog out of the car, in public places, even when they're excited, because they've learned manners. I hope this video was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Bye!